All right, so, students, see, did you people have any issues in hemodialysis and excretion part?
No, mom.
Going to see the excretion for plants. Now, this is the last topic in this chapter, and then we'll start a new chapter today. But first, talking about the excretion. Now, see, in the plants during photosynthesis, when oxygen is released as a byproduct, it is not actually used by the plants, right? A little, only a tiny amount of oxygen will be used by the plants. Rest, all of the oxygen will be let out into the atmosphere. So we can say that this oxygen can be a waste product in the plant during the process of photosynthesis because the plants do not need it. Now, apart from that, if the plant's body has excessive water in it, so they can get rid of the excessive water by the process of transpiration. Because we know that transpiration is that process in which the evaporatory loss of water takes place. The water loss from the plant's body takes place. So this mechanism can be used in a different way also, wherein the plant would get rid of the excessive water by the process of transpiration. Now, apart from that, the plants can get rid of other waste products by using the dead cells, and some plants can even shed their leaves. So many a times what happens in the case of plants is that once the plants shed their leaves, so along with the leaves, certain waste products are also shed up, meaning they get collected in the old leaves and then they are shed from the plant body. So, and apart from that, there are many dead cells also in plant's body, which can, like because of them, they can also get rid of the waste products. Now, in many plants, the waste product is stored in the cellular vacuoles. Okay, you people remember that vacuoles, they take up what percentage of the plant cell? Does anyone remember that?
60 to 90.
Exactly. So, in the plant cell, 60, not actually 60 to 90, 80 to 90% of the cell volume is actually taken up by the vacuoles. Now, these vacuoles, we know that they are responsible for the storage purpose. So the waste product, they also are, like, they can store the waste products of the plants. Now, the waste products of the plants, that can be anything. It can be certain chemicals, it can be things that the plants do not need anymore. So those waste products are stored in the vacuoles of the plants, meaning those are the vacuoles that are present in the cell. So we call them cellular vacuoles. Now, waste products may be stored in the leaves as they fall off. Again, the waste product that the plant does not require, it can be stored in the leaves. And when the leaves would fall off, the waste product would also fall off along with that. Now, there are certain other waste products such as they are stored in the form of resins and gums, especially in the old xylem. So in the old xylem tissue, these, like the waste products, they get stored in the form of resins and gums. And plants also excrete some waste into the soil around them. So apart from all of these methods that we have seen, the plants also excrete out some of the waste into the soil around them. Clear, students? This whole excretion in plants is clear to everyone?
Yes.
Everyone? All right. Okay. Now you people can note it down.
Ma'am, can you scroll down?
Everyone's done?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, miss.
Ma'am, done.
Everyone's done?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So with this, we have completed the chapter that is life processes. Now after this, we'll start with the chapter that is control and coordination. Now see, in this particular chapter, we are going to see how we respond to the world around us, what is present in our body so as to make us aware of our surroundings, what we do, how we do it, and everything about it. So let us first, like before moving on into the depths of this chapter, let us look at some of the most important terms that we will be continuously using throughout the chapter. The first term is stimulus. Now, stimulus is the agent or any sudden change in the external or internal environment which causes a change in the organism or its body part. For example, if you're standing and I pat on your back, hmm, so you will understand that someone is patting on your back. So that pat on the back is the stimulus that is being provided to your body. It is the external stimulus. Now, the stimulus can be external in origin or it can be internal also. It depends. Now, what happens that first the stimulus is provided. Now, after this, what happens? Our body shows some response to it. Now, for example, if I was patting on your back, now you will turn towards me, right? So this turning towards me is your response. So response is the change in organism resulting from a stimulus. So the result of a stimulus is a response. That is what we provide. Now, after that, we come on to receptors. Now, receptors are the nerve cells in our body which initiate the impulse, meaning the signaling part of our body is initiated by the receptors. And what happens is that it initiates the impulse towards the central nervous system. Now, the central nervous system contains the brain and the spinal cord. So what happens that after these receptors, for example, I patted on your back. Now, because of the presence of certain receptors, the information that someone is patting on the back is carried to the brain. Now the brain senses that information and thinks, now what are we supposed to do? Now, if you were to turn towards me, that is the reaction that the brain sends. The brain tells you to turn towards the person that is patting on your back. So receptors, the nerve cells which initiate the impulse towards the central nervous system after receiving a stimulus is the receptor. It is the nerve cell. Now, when we say that after receiving the stimulus, any response is provided. Now that response is because of the effectors. Now these effectors are the muscles or they are the glands. Now, if they are the muscles, they would contract. If they are the glands, they would secrete the substance when they receive the impulse from the central nervous system. So once the impulse gets carried to the central nervous system, then the central nervous system sends more information as to now how to react or what muscle to contract. Now, for example, you'll turn around to the person that's patting on your back. So that would require your bones, that would require your muscles. So that effector here is your muscle, the bones that are acting. Same way, in response to certain other stimuli, the glands, they secrete hormones. So that is also because of the CNS, that is the central nervous system. Any doubts up until now, students? This part about the simple, common, or you can say the basic terms of control and coordination is clear to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now see, one more thing is that the stimulus can be of any type. Okay, it can be of any type, meaning it can be conditioned stimulus wherein a person is doing it. It can be environmental stimulus, or it can even be the sudden stimulus, such as like if you touch a hot cup of tea, that is like the hotness from it. That is also a signal. What kind of signal? It is a thermo signal. So this signal or the stimulus can be of variety of types. Any doubts up until now, students? Hmm? No doubts, right?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Okay, now you start this chapter in a fresh page. Give the heading control and coordination. And then you start writing with the like some of the most important terms that are there. And then you keep on writing. Okay, now you can note this down.
Ma'am, can you scroll down?
Everyone's done?
Yes, ma'am.
What about the others? Are you all done?
Yes, miss.
Okay.
Done, ma'am. Ma'am, done.
Everyone's done?
Ma'am, it's 1 minute.
Okay, okay. Take your time, students.
It's done.
Everyone's done?
Yes.
All right. Now moving forward, let us look at the components of the central nervous system. Now, the central nervous system has two major components. The first one is the brain, and the second one is the spinal cord. So, the brain and the spinal cord, they become the major components of the central nervous system, meaning all that activity that is happening in our body, meaning the whole entire process of control and coordination, it takes place because of the brain and the spinal cord. Moving forward, let us talk about what are the functions of the nervous system. Now, just like how we have so many different systems in our body, we have digestive system, respiratory system, we have the transportation system. Same way, we have the nervous system as well. Now, the functions of the nervous system. Now, obviously, if we do not have the nervous system in our body, then obviously none of us would be conscious. None of us would be aware of our surrounding. So, what happens is that the first function of the nervous system is that it keeps us informed about the outside world through the sense organs with the help of sense organs. Now, tell me, how many sense organs do we have, students? Hmm?
6.
Name them.
5.
We have eyes, then
Ears. Mouth,
eyes,
ears.
then
Nose.
nose, then
Skin.
skin, and
Tongue.
tongue. We have 5 sense organs, right? Do we have more than this? Anything that is left? Yes or no? We have 5 sense organs, you are right, and these are the sense organs: eyes, ears, nose, skin, and our tongue. So with the help of these sense organs, our nervous system helps us to be informed about what is happening in the outside world. With our eyes, we can see; with our ears, we can hear what is happening; with our nose, we can have the smell of good and bad both; with the skin, we can feel almost everything, the touch, the temperature, and then there is a tongue for taste. Now, apart from that, the nervous system controls the voluntary activities of our body. Now, voluntary activities means all those activities that are under our control. Under our control means such as walking, running, writing. If you want to wave your hand at me, you can. Why? Because if you want to, you can maneuver it around. And that is because these are the parts of your body, or these motions or these activities are those that are under our will or under our control. Now, apart from that, it also regulates the involuntary activities. Now, these activities that are not under our control, we cannot control it on our own, such as the beating of the heart, the breathing. See, we know that whenever we sleep, then also we breathe and our heart beats. It doesn't mean that if we are sleeping, then our heart would stop beating or we'll stop breathing. So this doesn't happen. These are the involuntary activities. Now, in us, we don't have to be reminded to do these activities. Why? Because of the presence of the nervous system. The nervous system does all these functions of involuntary activities for us, meaning the activities that are not under our control. Now, there are some people, while they sleep, they stop breathing. This is a disease that happens in some people. But let alone, like apart from that, the nervous system keeps us beating, like our heart beating, keeps us breathing even while we are sleeping, even while we are sick. So it regulates the involuntary activity. Now, apart from that, the nervous system enables us to remember, We can remember, we have a memory because of nervous system. We can think and act accordingly. That is also because of the nervous system. And then we can reason. We can see or we can differentiate right from wrong and all of truth from the false and everything because we have our nervous system, because we have our brain. So these are the four functions of the nervous system. Are all these functions clear to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Any doubts? Why only two students answer in the class? What about the rest of you? Why no one even answers, bothers to answer? Hmm? Abdul, are you there in the class?
Yes.
If you're there, then answer in the class. Aisha, are you there in the class? Aisha, are you there? What happened to your mic, Aisha? Apart from that, okay, Mariam and Nabiha, you both are there in the class?
Yes, miss. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, students, now you can note it down.
Done. Done, ma'am.
Done, student?
Yes, mom.
Yes. Finished, ma'am.
Miss done.
Everyone's done?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Now let us talk about the structural and the functional unit of the nervous system. Now the structural and functional unit of our nervous system is the neuron. Just like how the cell was the structural and functional unit of our whole entire body, same way, neuron is the structural and functional
Miss, your
unit
voice is breaking.
of our nervous system. Meaning it is the neuron because
Yeah, mom, your voice is breaking a lot.
is it still breaking?
I cannot now.
Am I audible, students? Hello, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So I was saying that we'll talk about the structural and functional unit of our nervous system, that is the neuron. Now this neuron, it is made up of three parts. The first part is the cell body or the cyton. The second part is the dendrite, and the third part is the axon. So, cell body or cyton, dendrite, and axon are the three main parts of the neuron. And this neuron is extremely, extremely important, just like how nephron was present in our excretory system. Same way, neuron is present in our nervous system. Now, talking about the cell body or the cyton, this portion that you see here, this portion, this is the cell body. Now, it has a very well defined nucleus, and cytoplasm is present in the cell body. Just like how a cell has cytoplasm, same way the cell body also has cytoplasm and a proper well defined nucleus. Then talking about the dendrites. Now, these dendrites, they are the branch projections of the cell body. So the branches like structure that comes out of the cell body are the dendrites. Now, if you see this very long portion, this is the axon. Now, talking about the axon, so it is a long process or long extension of the cell body. The end portions of the axon have swollen bulb-like structures which are the storehouse of neurotransmitter. So at the end of the axon, these are the bulb-like structures that are present at the nerve endings. These are the ones that are the storehouse of the neurotransmitter. Clear, students?
Yes, Miss.
This is about the structure of a neuron. Any doubts up until now?
No, ma'am.
All right. Okay, now students, you people can note it down. And today we'll keep it till here only. Yeah, now you can note it down.
Done. Miss done.
Everyone
Done, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
all right, students. Very good. Okay, so we'll keep it till here only for today's class. And in the next class, we'll continue with more discussion about the neuron. Clear?